All right, what is up, guys? VV back with another video, and today we're going to be going over a Rebecca versus Law. This is blue-black Dressrosa Rebecca versus red-green Trafalgar Law, and this is from the PPG from Knoxville. Let me go ahead and put this on 2x speed while we're talking, and it looks like we're going to start off right off with a Rebecca search. But this is from the PPG in Knoxville, and on the right we have Rebecca, and on the left we have Trafalgar Law, and this is round 9. Both players undefeated currently. So these are the best of the best right here as far as the players. Well, I don't want to say the best of the best, but like they were doing the absolute best on the Swiss rounds, in the Swiss rounds. So let's go ahead and hop into this game, guys, and see how things go. Gats grabs Gas and tosses the Leo, plays Quarter Coliseum. So this is a perfect ideal start. We got to, let me see, can I pause like that? There we go. This is the perfect ideal start for Rebecca, where it's like, okay, leader search, grab a 2K counter, play out my Quarter Coliseum, so that trashes a card from my hand as well, right? And then he's off to the races. So very ideal start for the Rebecca player here. And it looks like the Law player started off with a Nami. I do apologize, guys. This video started, like, how do I say this? I was not able to hit record until after he'd already done the Nami search. So let's see what happens here. Starter deck Zoro. This is the 3-cost 5K, potential 7K Zoro for 1 Dawn investment. Okay, Nami's going to go away because of the Kairos from Rebecca and use Leader's Effect. Yeah, or not Leader's, excuse me, not Leader's Effect, the Kairos. Draw 2, and then he's going to use the Leader's Effect to draw. Wow. There was a mistake there somewhere. Hang on a second. Okay, plays Kairos to KO the Nami, and then you're supposed to trash 1 card from the top of your deck. But the Rebecca player tries to do the Leader's Effect first. Okay, there goes the Luffy from the trash from the other player. Correct him, saying no, you got to trash 1 from the top of your deck from the Kairos first. Then you draw 2, trash 1, or draw. You know, well, it's not draw 2, trash 1, but y'all know what I mean. And what did he get? He got the Idio and trashed Orlumbus. Okay, very confusing start to the game there. But it is round 9. These players are probably experiencing the most potential mental fatigue you can get, right? So Dedan's search grabs a Chopper, and let's see what happens here. Gonna play a Sanji out. This is the 2-cost 2K counter Sanji that you can activate to draw a card from your life, and he gets plus 2,000 and can attach 2 Dawn to him. So very solid, and it's a 2K counter. Okay, Law is going to swing in for 6, and quick little Tashigi 2K counter out to get to 7. All right, Rebecca's turn, and there's the Sanji in the bottom left corner. Again, the way PPG does this is really nice. I wish they'd clean up the edges a tiny bit from the wood. I don't really care for the thick edges of the wood, make it a little thinner, but they did a really good job of this. I'm not trying to be too picky. I'm not trying to complain. Excellent production they did here. Okay, so we're going to play Gas and make Kairos able to attack active characters. Okay? That's from the Gats' effect. He's a 2K counter that allows your Dressrosa characters to attack active characters this turn. Swings 5K into the Sanji and gets that off the field so that the Law cannot start generating too much card draw from his life. Grabs Idio, trashes Orlumbus from Leader's Effect, plays out the Orlumbus, and passes turn. Excuse me. So we got 6 Dawn to work with for Law here. He plays another Sanji and draws the card to get a card from life. He's trying to get as much cards as he can, as much card advantage as he can, even though it seems risky. Oh, he's going to grab the 4-cost 5K Brook that has the effect of playing out a film or Straw Hat crew from hand. But the Sanji here is a really nice tech card against Rebecca because okay, Rebecca kind of is played as like a deck that starves out the opponent, and it doesn't attack life, so they don't draw those cards at first or get those triggers. Well, Sanji allows you to draw them anyway, so that is pretty nice. So let's see what happens here. So yeah, he gets the Brook, like we said, from the Nami. And, you know, ultimately, looks like my player was messing up there. But ultimately, it looks like, sorry about this lag. I don't know why it's like glitching like this. My apologies, guys. It looks like the Law player swung for 5, and now he's going to swing for 7 with his structure deck or starter deck, Zorro. And the Rebecca takes it, and then we use the leader's effect to... Wow, man, it's lagging so bad I don't understand what's happening. So he plays out beige, then uses leader's effect to pull it back to play out the 5-cost rush Monkey D. Luffy. Very nice. And he takes it and gets a 3,000 Worlds trigger off the top, which can bottom deck it's either a 3 or less or a 4 or less from the trigger effect. Let me see real quick while he's doing his turn. All right. It is a 3 or less from the trigger. It's 5 or less for activating the actual effect itself, but 3 or less from the trigger. So we're going to do a Rebecca search, grabs a Truno Bastardo, trashes a Monkey King, or a King Kong gun, and plays out a Gats, giving... Wow, he's just saying, you know what? I am going to attack your board. I'm going to keep your board down. Trashes his Gats to trash 2 cards from there, and -4 cost to Luffy, I think it was. And Leo is going to take out Luffy. Excellent. And I got to pause right here so we can catch up. So the Gats there that he played for the turn allowed his Kairos to attack into the Sanji. Then he played he KO'd his other Gats, because he had 2 on the board at that point, to -4 to the cost of the Luffy, trashing 2 cards from the top of his deck into his trash. Plays out the Leo, which can KO a 1 or less by tapping down the leader and trashes 2 cards from the top of your deck. And then he's going to play down a Sabo to draw 2 trash to fill up. You see, that turn was so massive there. And from all the research and stuff I've been doing on Rebecca and playing it out and trying new things with her, the best way to play Rebecca, from what I've seen, is 90+% Dressrosa cards in deck. Like, you can't really venture too far from it. At least not yet. We'll see what happens in the future. And number 2 is you build low to the ground. Like, you play these Leos, these Gats, these Orlumbus, these Kairos. Nothing but cards that are 5 cost and under. So that way you can have multiple plays a turn and activations like of your Rebecca and things like that. So incredible turn there. I think, what did he get? Like 6 or 7 cards in his trash. Drew cards here. He KO'd 2 cards on the board. Just a very, very, very strong tempo shift in the game here. Okay, and now it is the Trafalgar Law's turn. Now, he had to trash the 2 cards for Sabo, and now it's the Law's turn. Looks like he top decked a 3-cost Law. Now, Law has, I think, 8 Dawn he's working with here, or maybe it's 9. I can't quite see. So, okay, that was a nice play there. So with that Brook, he was able to play out a 3-cost 5K rush Zorro, filling his board right back up, even after everything that Rebecca player did there. Doesn't even matter. Just with 4 Dawn, we get all this here. Or 5 Dawn, we got that's the thing about Law, right? He paid 5 Dawn, got 3 bodies, and saved 3 Dawn. Right? It's just just incredible. And now he's going to pay 2 to do all kind of shenanigans as well. Okay, he's going to swing in with Zorro for 6 first. Let's see what happens. Pay 2 with Leader's Effect. Return Zorro. Play out beige. Okay, and he did not have the Shambles Law. Okay. Rebecca's turn. Rebecca is on 10 Dawn. And okay, with that search, the Rebecca leader search, or the Rebecca leader effect, he sees a Leo and a Gats. So let's see what he needs here. He forgot to stand up as Rebecca. He gets that back. Basically, what form of removal does he need? Gats is a little more versatile because you can use him as removal to attack active characters. But Leo can get around blockers, right, with his effect if you can lower the cost down, which all these characters are very low costed. And he has Orlumbus in play. But Gats is also a 2K counter. So, there's a lot to be said there. He does grab the Leo. I do like the Leo because, like I said, he just gets around any kind of blockers that you need to get around and fills up your trash just as well. Plays out 7-cost Luffy, and Luffy can attack this turn because Court of Coliseum is down. Let's see what happens. He's going to attack at, was that Brook, I think? Yes, and Radical Beam to protect Brook. Wow. Okay, so that's the only Radical Beam in the deck for Law, because you can only have 1 per the restrictions. I think you still stand Luffy no matter what. I'm pretty sure you stand Luffy literally no matter what here. Okay, so he used Orlumbus's effect. Hang on one second, he's probably going to use Leo here. He used Orlumbus's effect to KO the, whatever that was left there, the Leo or the Gats that was there. -4ing the cost of, I think, the Brook. And trashed 2 cards from the top, which were the 2 TCGs. Now, I'm assuming it's going to be the Leo coming down here. He's going to Rebecca search first. Okay, you should... Typically speaking, you want to Rebecca search first, even before the Luffy. But at the same time, let's see what... It's not too big of a deal. He got the Gats there, I believe. Is that what that was? Yeah, the Gats. And what is that? Rebecca and Kairos. Okay. Grabs the Gats. 2K counter and allows you to attack active characters. Okay, Kairos swings in at life, and he just says, yep, I will definitely take that. Thank you very much. Says, I'll definitely take that as well. And let's see what happens here. KOs the Brook. And is he going to stand up Luffy? I think he should, personally. Yeah, and he's going to. So he's going to return 7 cards. So let's see what he gets. He gets Idio, Gats, Monkey King Kong, Idio, Bartolomeo, and Sabo. Okay. And let's see if we can... Let's see how he places it. Okay, he shows the 7 cards. Looks like he wants Sabo on top going into a 2K. Yeah. And is that a Bartolomeo? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Very nice. So it was like blocker, once a 2K counter. Very nice. And and then it's past turn. Yeah, so does not swing with Luffy again. He says, you know what? I've got a blocker. I've got 2 Dawn active. Or excuse me, not 2 Dawn. I've got 2 life cards active still. You're going to have to beat me this turn. Or somehow deal with Luffy. And did he play Sabo this turn or last turn? No, he played Sabo last turn. Okay, so he swung for 7 there. And, okay, hang on. It's going real fast because it's in 2x speed. He swung for 7 at the Rebecca. Rebecca takes it. Okay, and now he plays Zoro. And now he's going to swing for 7. Block, 2K counter. And now he's going to use... Did he just pay 2? Yeah, he paid 2. Return Nami. Play Trafalgar Law, which is going to let him bounce a character again. Grabs Zoro. And now what do we do? He has 3 blockers down, but he's going to play Zoro again and swing 6 again. 2K counter out, and my turn. All right, very nice. Now it's the Rebecca's turn. So there are 3 blockers on the board currently. Starts off with a 5K swing. Because... Hang on a second. Because the Law player has no cards in life, every 5K swing demands an answer. There is no like, oh, I'll just take that one. No, you lose the game. So it's going to be either a card out of hand or it's going to be a blocker on the board. So let's see what happens here. Swings 5K again with Orlumbus. Counters out. Now, there are still 3 blockers and probably 1 or 2 cards in hand. 2 cards in hand. So how is this going to go? Swing 7. There goes 1 blocker. And the Rebecca has not used even 1 Dawn yet. Not 1 Dawn has been used. This is just attacks on board. And this is yet another reason. Okay, so he got a King Kong gun out of hand, and now threw away. He had to trash his 3,000 Worlds because it's not Dressrosa anyway. But here's the thing. So how do I say this? The Rebecca player is now at the point where this is why you build so low to the ground. Look at how you can just fill up the board. You just fill up the board and fill up the board just like a Law player does. This is kind of... Don't yell at me in the comment section below. I'm not saying it's like a one-to-one, apple-to-apple comparison or anything. But it's very similar to like... This is kind of like the new Law deck. Where, yes, it requires a very high skill ceiling to play at the highest level. But you really want to play it low to the ground and just build out from there. So let's see what happens here. He has a King Kong gun in hand and still has 9 active Dawn. 9 active Dawn. Let's see what goes on. I mean, don't you just swing here with every single one and then stand up Luffy for game? I feel like... So let me pause. I feel like you swing for 5, right? With Leo, you literally swing for 5. Even if you block with Trafalgar Law, that doesn't matter, right? So you swing for 5. So okay, that's blocked now. So now you have one more thing to block with. And then you swing with this, and then you swing with Sabo, and then you swing with Luffy. But the only thing that could stop this play is if he has a 2K counter in hand or a 1K counter in hand. So he does have to make sure he does this just right. 2 cards in hand. Here we go. He's counted it out. Oh, okay. So he just straight up turns Leo into a beater here. Hang on. So he turned Leo. He gave him King Kong gun to put him at 8. +1, 9. So swings in for 9K. Swings in for 9K with Sabo. and says, okay, I'm going to untap 7, swing in for 9K again. Very nice. Very well played by the Rebecca player. Good game. Wow, that was an awesome game. And that is the power of King Kong Gun. It's not always meant to be an OTK. King Kong Gun is not always meant to be... let me just play it back here and talk over while it's playing out. King Kong Gun is not always meant to be just, okay, OTK with Luffy time. No. Like, throw it on a Gats and all of a sudden he's a 7K. Right? And you could have double attack if you have, enough cards in your trash. Kairos, he ends up being an 11K. Or Lumbus, 11K. Sabo, 12K. Right, so there's all these other options. There's all of these other options. Like Leo, he ends up being a 7K. So, or excuse me, an 8K. I can't even do math. Let me actually start it right here. Yeah, and look at this board state. Like this is what I was saying. How like the way Rebecca plays out now, it's not the exact same. It is not the exact same as Law, but it plays out similar to Law, where it's like I'm going to play out all these 1-drops, all these 2, 3s, and 4s, and then like my biggest card is going to be Luffy. But the only reason he plays it is because it can attack the turn it's that it comes into play because of Quarter Coliseum, and it's just, I don't know. I do see this like really incredible. I love the way the deck plays out, but I'm just going to say it like this. When I first got into Rebecca, I was hoping this was going to be a hardcore control deck. And it's not. In my personal opinion, this is not control. And y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. I know I mentioned this in like every video that I talked about Rebecca. And I'm not saying I don't like the deck, by the way. And I'm not saying the deck doesn't require skill or that there's no control elements at all. But like, when I think of control, this is what I think of. I'm going to counter everything you do. And then I'm going to wipe the board. And then I'm going to play one huge monster that wins me the game. Or I'm going to play like 1 or 2 little monsters that have like resilience or evasion that are going to be able to win me the game like that. And that's in this game. I'm still working on a video currently. I haven't even worked out all the concepts behind the video, but like I'm trying to come up with a video that talks about what is rock, paper, scissors in this game, because that's what every developer goes for ultimately to have a balanced game. You need one, and in cards it's typically like this. Like you have one deck that just attacks fast. It plays a bunch of low to the ground, low cost characters and swings wide. Okay. Then you got decks that are a little bit that they would rather have a strong tempo they play on, and they get bigger and bigger over the course of the game. And then there's like the control deck, the final deck that says, I don't care what y'all play. I'm just going to destroy it one card at a time. And then I'm just going to drop the biggest monster in the game that there's no answer for. And I understand this game's a little different because there's leaders. This isn't Magic. A lot of my analogies come from Magic because that's my background. But, it's one of those things where like, if I were to, this is the best version of control I can think of currently in the game. Either A, it's blue, yellow, queen, or B, it's, this is going to sound crazy, but it's almost like Crocodile. Because Crocodile has like all the Mihawks as well and all the Kaidos and a bunch of bounce stuff. It just counters everything your opponent does by bouncing it back, bouncing it back, bouncing it back, and then just play big bombs. And the same thing with like, with Blue, Yellow, Queen. Whereas like mid-range decks for me are really like Whitebeard and Katakuri. Like those, in my opinion, are more of like the mid-range style decks. And like Rob Lucci was as well, even though we didn't see any of those. And then I guess purple-green Luffy would kind of be control as well. The not purple-green Luffy, excuse me. Purple-green Doflamingo would be like a version of control in my opinion as well. Whereas the rush decks for me, I guess Zoro technically, but really more like this right here, what we're seeing. Like Rebecca and Law, they're just filling the board out all the way to the brim and saying, I'm just going to eat everything you have and like outpace you in that way and then just run you over, just bulldoze you, So I don't know. Again, it's something I'm trying to work on. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. Excuse me. It's going to be its own entirely its own dedicated video on like how this game runs. What makes this game balanced? And the tricky part is going to be, is the game even balanced? Because we see how Red is currently. Red is winning a lot of tournaments. I'm not going to say anything, but I'm just stating a fact that Red has been winning a lot of tournaments since this game's come out. It basically has owned OP-02, 3, and 4, and we're at the point now, it looks like in the East, we don't know yet. At the time of me recording this, there is no big tournament results in the East, but it looks like in the East, we're finally going to get a break from Red. in OP-05. But again, we'll just have to see how things turn out. I haven't given up on OP-04 yet. It just started over here in the West. I'm loving it. This Rebecca game was incredible. I'm loving Rebecca. I'm still going to play Rebecca. But what I thought was going to be like more of this like controlling style deck has not really been what I thought. And I really want to know what y'all's comments are on that. Like, what do y'all think? Is Rebecca what you thought it'd be? Because when I saw that effect where like she can't even attack. So when I see the effect of like, okay, she can draw an extra card every turn, I'm thinking, cool, this is going to be one heck of a control deck. When, yeah, it has control elements, but it's so hybrid, right? It's so much of like this, like I'm not going to play these huge monster, you know, bombs, you know, these like 10 cost characters. I'm just going to play a bunch of like, I'm just going to fill the board up with little creatures that remove stuff one by one, right? And then we're seeing the end of this game again. But again, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Y'all bear with me. I'm not trying to complain too much. I'm really just kind of getting my thoughts out. And I really want to see what people have to say about it. But all right, guys, I'm going to end it right there. I'm just rambling at this point. I really enjoyed this game, and I really enjoyed One Piece. I don't want to give off the false impression that like I'm unhappy with it or anything like that. I see a lot of stuff trending in the right direction, especially in OP-04 and OP-05. Massive trends into like purple and blue-black, and you know the blue-black Sakazuki deck. I can't wait to play because that is a little more in the control. It's like a mid-range control type deck as well. We're going to talk about eventually if I haven't already. You know, depending on what videos you've seen of mine. So, all right, guys. Until next time, guys. Oh, and please don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you haven't already. And until next time, peace.